Hey dudes, what's going on? Today we are doing an update of a video I did. I was just looking it up and I literally did a video on the old version of the Borka ADT 10 years ago on this channel. So crazy how things go. But anyways, I was super excited. Borka Tools is no longer owned by Boris. ProShot owns them now. ProShot reached out to me a little bit ago and said, hey, we noticed you made a video a while ago with the old version. Would you be interested in making an updated video for your audience, kind of showing how the toolkit works as well as the new version? And I was like, yep, that sounds cool to me. Now, I actually have been using the new version of the tool for quite some time. Boris himself sent this out to me a few years ago, whenever he updated, I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago. So I've been using the new clicker version versus the fold-over version that was in that previous video. But it's time we kind of did an update video. So here's like what you get with the kit. You open the case and you're going to be greeted with this divider right away. And I'll show you a trick with this divider. It's not just to help keep stuff from clanging around and banging into each other. There's also a really cool trick, but you got to wait till the end to see what that is. But we open it up here, and this kit pretty much has everything you're going to need. It has various bits. It has standard. It has metric. It has Torx. It even has a Phillips and a flathead for various things that you might come across. Has a socket extension and socket for like scope rings, cross bolts, things like that that might be kind of common that you might come across. These extended bits are super awesome for some precision rifle, like some chassis and stocks and stuff. You have to like really get the 3/16 in there. You have a 3/16, which is super common. You have an extension as well and a smaller bit. So pretty much your precision rifle stuff, you're gonna really, really like that. Lens brush, so you can clean off your optics. Emergency cleaning rod. You never know when you might need one in an emergency. Now, obviously, we all know that you're supposed to use a one-piece, but when you're in the field, do you have that big one-piece cleaning rod with you? Well, now you have an emergency cleaning rod. Basically, you take all these sections out and thread it together, and now you have an emergency cleaning rod if you need it. And these are actually really nice. They're pretty well built for multi-segment for a cleaning rod. So good thing to have here. We have the torque driver. We're going to save this for just a quick second. And then we also have a ratchet that is 1/4 inch. Plus there's room in here where if you wanted to add some of your own stuff. So for example, maybe you wanted to throw a Sharpie in here, a pen, oil pen. These are really awesome as well. These are also made by Borka. It's basically a precision needle oiler. You just press this and it's gonna put a drop of lube exactly where you want it. So small that you can put all the, yeah, works out great. So you can put some zero friction lube in there. You could keep this in here. If you wanted to, you could add a precision torque limiter if you knew that you were going to have something else. So the case has a lot of really cool stuff going on. Plus it has this thing. Again, stick around till the end. I'll show you what that's for. But let's talk about the torque driver real quick and how you assemble it, because you basically have two pieces. You have the crossbar, and on the crossbar each side has a scale of torque. So on one side we have from 28 to 70, and then on the other side we have 10 to 27. We'll talk about how to use each range here in a second. You also have the spindle, and the spindle consists of a few different parts as well. We loosen the spindle and you'll notice there's an arrow. That's going to be pretty important. We'll talk about that. But we have the handle, and this is a free spinning handle. So as we're using it, we don't have to worry about this kind of like binding up in our hand or anything like that. And then we have the bit holder. The bit holder holds the bits very securely. They're not going to come out until you pull on this collar, and then you can take the bit out. So again, really secure mechanism. These bit holders are super nice. I've used them on a variety of things. They also have them in some of their other kits. And way back in the day, I even asked, Boris, I was like, hey, you need to send some of those extras. And I kind of put them in some of my favorite, bit holding screwdriver handles. And I switched over to the quick release because I love those Borka releases so much. First example I'm going to show you, we're going to look at a handgun, a rifle, and an optic. We're going to tighten these cap screws on this Trijicon optic and mount. So this particular torque value is 15 inch-pounds. So let's figure out how we're going to do that. So we have our pieces. We're going to first find where 15 is. It's not on that side, so it's going to be on this side. 15 inch-pounds. We're going to take that arrow that I talked about, and we're just going to put it right there and just kind of hold it in place. Then we are going to tighten this until it just touches the crossbar here, and you'll see that it still can slide. So you don't have to be quite perfect. Then you will want to confirm that that arrow is right, in fact, on 15 inch-pounds. Then we're just going to take this and give it a quarter turn. That's it. Quarter turn, all you need. Don't worry about it. Now, how to hold the tool is pretty important. And first, make sure you got the right size bit. I thought I staged this ahead of time. I did. So we're going to put the right size bit in there. Now, it's really important how we hold the tool. Sometimes, depending on where the spindle is on the crossbeam, it depends on where I might hold it. But I'm actually going to be applying all of the torque with my thumb on the button. This will break, indicating that I have reached torque. So that's like the clutch mechanism, if you will. And it coordinates with each side that you're using. So if I'm using this side, it's going to go this way. But if I were using that side, the button would press this way, and it's a stiffer press, if you will, because of the higher torque values. The thing is that it's not a breakover, and this is not like a T-handle. We're not using it that way. So we want to make sure that we're holding the tool properly and using it properly, which requires us to apply our thumb on the button, and we're going to get that click when we have reached proper torque. So a couple things. Number one, make sure you're holding it properly, and I like to grab it right around the spindle, and that way as I'm tightening, this spins like I was telling you guys before. And again, I can kind of move up and down depending on where it is. The other thing that I like is that with this groove, I'm also pressing down to make sure that the fastener is fully accepting the bit. A common time that you're going to strip out things is when the tool is not fully in the screw, whether it's at an angle, whether it's not quite engaged. But I want to make sure that that bit is all the way down into the socket on the screw head. That's really, really important. So I'm actually pushing down with this as I'm going to be tightening. I have all these snug, so they should be pretty close to torque, but now I want to apply my final torque. The simplest way I can put torque is how much we are tightening something. And if we over tighten something, we could risk stripping the screw, breaking the screw, damaging it, damaging our tools. And if we under torque or we don't tighten enough, we can risk this loosening up when we're using it and stuff goes flying off, it loses zero, it shifts, it could cause damage to things. So proper torque is super important. Check with the manufacturer of whatever accessory and look for the spec in inch-pounds. Again, this torque driver goes from 10 all the way to 70 inch-pounds. Don't confuse it with foot-pounds, you'll have a big problem. So anyway, so let's get to it. We're gonna make sure that the bit is all the way firmly inserted into the screw, and that's where I'm pushing down. And I'll position it like this so you guys can see that. But I'm making sure that it's fully in the socket of the screw, and then I'm applying my thumb right on the button. I'm not doing any tightening with this part of my hand. I'm really just allowing that to rotate around this axis, and I'm tightening with my thumb on the button. And when I hit 15 inch-pounds, it's going to click over just like that, indicating that I have reached torque for that. So I'm just going to alternate. There's 15, I'll reset. That one was pretty close. And that's it. So now I've tightened each of these screws to 15 inch-pounds. Very simply, very easily, and always reset the button to make sure it's in that center position. So that's how you could use it on a scope mount. So let's talk about how we would use this on a handgun. This particular handgun has a Holosun 509 mounted to it, and the torque spec for this crossbolt is 20 inch-pounds. So we're going to apply 20 inch-pounds. I put my Torx 10 in there, which is the appropriate size. I'm going to loosen the spindle knob, and I'm going to find 20 inch-pounds. And again, I'm going to slide that arrow right to 20 inch-pounds, quarter turn. Make sure the arrow is pointed at 20 inch-pounds. I can kind of adjust my grip for what's comfortable, so it's probably going to be something like that. Insert the bit into the screw. Again, I'm tightening with my thumb, pushing down, making sure that that bit doesn't hop out of the screw, and I'm going to slowly tighten, and if I need to reset, I can easily do that. Now I've got it snug. I'm also pushing on the optic body, and I've received that click indicating that I'm at torque. That's how easy it is with a handgun. Again, I'm allowing basically just the tool to rotate around the spindle, and I'm simply pushing with that button. Now on a rifle, you could come across a variety of things that need torque. For example, on an AR, you might have cross bolts that secure your handguard. You might have optic mounting screws. You might have accessory screws, whatever it might be. Because this is going to require a higher torque value, I'm going to remove the handle from the spindle, set my beam down, flip it over so I can use the higher torque range. And again, the arrow, I'm going to put it right down at 30, hold it in place, tighten the knob back on. As soon as it touches, it can still slide, and I'm going to verify the arrow is right at 30. Quarter turn, that's all I need. All right, so I just broke these loose for the demonstration, and if this was a new install or you're just getting it together or you have to re-tighten in the field, this would be a great use for this little ratchet. You could put the appropriate size bit in the ratchet, make sure it is going the proper direction, and now you could do the majority of your work with this ratchet, just getting it snug. And the more you work on firearms, you know, obviously the more you'll get a feel for it, but I'm just really trying to snug these up right now. I'm not trying to apply my final torque. I'm going to take the bit, I'm going to go to that torque wrench that I already set up, again at 30 inch-pounds, make sure the arrow is on the alignment, insert the bit, make sure it's seated, hold the tool in a comfortable position, make sure that it is firmly seated in there. I'm kind of pressing down as I'm holding the tool, making sure that I'm not at an angle or miss an alignment, not in alignment, anything like that, and I'm tightening with my thumb. And I got that click, we're reset. Go to the other screw. And I get that click indicating that I'm at 30 inch-pounds. I'm just going to confirm on this one because sometimes when we tighten screws together, they tend to kind of work down together. So I'm just going to confirm 30 and 30. So that's it. So I've used it in a variety of situations, on an optic, on a handgun, on a rifle, and then you can apply your witness mark. Obviously, if you have thread locker, you want to make sure you put that on there too. But a very, very versatile tool that's really effective. There's no springs to stretch out. There's no batteries on some of the digital models. And what's great is that these are really, really accurate for the range as well. They have a plus or minus 4% level of accuracy on the whole range of the torque. Some of the other torque wrenches that are out there give you an accuracy range for basically one spot right in the middle. And then that accuracy kind of widens depending on where you're at in the range. They're less accurate on the low and the high end and only accurate, really accurate in like the middle. Whereas this, it's plus or minus 4% throughout the whole entire range. Made in America. Now it's backed up by the Pro Shot company. They make awesome cleaning products, other gunsmithing supplies, target bags, other tools. Really, really good company right out of Illinois. Good people in the Midwest making good tools. The kits are available in a variety of options. A lot of options that I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find a solution. Now, if you stuck around till the end, I promised you a little bonus hack with whatever this divider thing is. If you're working out in the field, and ask me how I know how much it sucks to lose little parts or screws. So you take this little divider and you basically pull it out like so, and you see these little snaps. You snap the corner together, snap the corner together, snap the corner together, snap the last corner together, and you have a little dish. And this is a great parts tray. Now, I recommend detaching it from the case just in case someone pulls to get a tool or a bit or whatever. But now you have this parts tray on its own, and you can set the bits that you need, little screws, something like that, and you're not going to have to worry about stuff rolling away, because searching for a little pin, screw, bit, whatever that rolled away onto the gravel, onto the asphalt or whatever, it makes it impossible to find. So having a portable little parts tray, that's a win right there. So hope you guys get one of these, because these are really handy. I can't tell you how many times I've lost stuff, and it really stinks. So this parts tray is pretty awesome. And then when you're done with it, you put away all your stuff, and you simply unsnap it, and then it goes right into the case. Seriously awesome stuff. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. We'll have a link to our blog, which will have links to tools and stuff like that. And I really appreciate you watching this. Also stay tuned. We got some other tool, gunsmith, shop, how-tos coming up, as well as general firearm stuff. So I hope you like the content. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and have a great day.